Some other things you talk about is to create a targeted pitch and a well-written resume. So you help people rewrite their resume.
Yeah, and that's something that's harder to go into here. But yeah, I work with people in their resumes. But the key word there is targeted, from my point of view, and that is you have to talk to enough people to understand the pain, the problem, the solution that potential employers are looking for.
Yeah.
And then you write everything you do is targeted to that, both the way you network with people, the way you interview, the way you write your cover letter, the way you negotiate. It's all in relationship to, I have these skills, I know your pain, I know I can do something for you.
Okay, I like that. Another thing you talk about is taking care of yourself. How does that get you a better job?
Fortunately or unfortunately, job hunting and career development is more of a marathon than it's a sprint. And you need to do the basic things like getting enough sleep and eating properly, and even having a spiritual practice, I think, is really important. To whether it's prayer or meditation or yoga, even exercise can be sort of spiritual in its own way. And the idea is to get a break from the storm once in a while, or to at least be in the eye of the storm where it's quiet and everything's spinning around you. There's a cartoon that I have that it cracks me up. It shows the doctor and the patients across the way, and the doctor's looking at the report and he's giving him the evaluation of the physical, and he says, "It's too bad you're unemployed, otherwise I'd tell you to take 2 weeks off." And the average person doesn't get that, but somebody that's unemployed is going.
Right.
And you have to take care of yourself and build some rewards and take some mini vacations and take 2 weeks off even though you are unemployed.
I would think that would be an issue, because when do you get to earn a vacation?
Yeah,
You
think you almost never deserve it, so you're pushing and you're always thinking about it. And to really get a mental break, and part of this is what a coach can do, or you could do for yourself, where you set the interim goals. After I've reached this goal, I am going to take the weekend off, and I'm not going to think about it, and I'm going to the beach.
Okay. All right. So you also talk about volunteering.
Yeah, I think that's if you find something that is interesting to you, this is a way to try it out. This is part of that planned happenstance thing. You're dipping your foot in the water. And plus, there's something empowering about helping somebody else and making a difference for them. And for some of these volunteer opportunities, you see people who are struggling for food, for literacy, things that you already have. And it puts it a little bit in perspective. And also, if you find something you really like, a person could also say, hey, she's really good at this. I refer her for a job as a, fund developer or marketing specialist.
I see. Okay, so volunteering can actually be a way of practicing at a particular job and finding out, do I like this, and also meeting all the people in that field.
And it can even be something a little more innovative than that. You meet an interesting person and they're working on a book or something, say, hey, can I help you?
Right.
Right? And so, and then you start helping the person, and then maybe they say, hey, this is a really sharp researcher. I recommend Andrew Gottlieb for whatever it is. So it can be just helping somebody who's interesting for a while.
Yeah, okay. Now the last one you have here that I thought was interesting, it's think of yourself as an actor or actress. Tell me about that.
I had never heard this before, but I thought about it as I just thought that a lot of people can identify with method acting and getting into things, and we know that our personalities have many facets to it. It's like we're multifaceted diamonds, and I show you this strength or whatever. And what I try to encourage people to do is, even though they're discouraged, to try to channel that enthusiasm and energy they have when they're actually dealing with a potential employer, whether this is networking or a resume. Have that enthusiasm, think about something you really are enthusiastic about, or maybe even a part of a job, or the excitement of having a great job, and give them that energy. It's part of you, but it's like the most positive part of you that's coming out. And I think that enables you to make the decision about the job and not have them eliminate you.
Right, okay. So now you talked before about finding your calling. First of all, what is a calling and how do I find one?
Well, it's not under the chair. Well, I think what I advise is sampling things. I mean, I'm going to repeat a little bit what I said before, and that is trying things on. I mean, there are some actual tests like the Myers-Briggs and the Strong and all these assessment tests people can get to get an idea if there's a congruence between activity in a work and what your personality is like. So that's a piece of it. Some of it might be introspection, some of it might be working with a coach or a friend, talking about ideas, but you have to actually test the waters and then see, does this really resonate with me?
Okay.
Is this something that I think that I would really like to do? And it's a long process, but it's a trial and error thing unless you're lucky enough to hit it as the very first thing you do.
So we only have a few more minutes left, but I'm curious to know, do most people in jobs feel like they're in their calling, or is that a fairly rare thing?
I think it's somewhat rare because I think a lot of people are doing things based on survival. They just have to get a job and they get whatever they can, and then there's a kind of a lack of momentum. And I think in this age, it's really more important for us to think of ourselves as contractors, even if we're in a permanent job, always developing those skills, always refining it, so we're closer to our calling and more enabled rather than just stuck where we are.
Yeah, we're out of time, so I have to turn the show back over to you. But it's been a delight having you
thank
on
you very
You're
much.
Hired.
It's strange being on the other side because I didn't know where the time was or how much time we had to go. So thank you so much for asking the questions.
You're welcome.
All right, and you're welcome back anytime, too.
I'm going to come to see you as a coach.
Everywhere. As a coach? Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you for watching You're Hired. If you have any feedback about this show or other shows, topics you'd like us to cover, guests you'd like us to have, please let me know. You can call me or email me at steve@bayareacareercoach.com. That's steve@bayareacareercoach.com. And I also invite you to check out the website where we have the 12 keys of getting a great job. I think if you're able to do those 12 keys, you'll find that you're able to get ahead of the crowd and get that job you want and deserve. And that's at www.bayareacareercoach.com. Again, it's www.bayareacareercoach.com. I thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on You're Hired.